El fútbol playa en El Salvador representa el corazón de todos los salvadoreños.
Nosotros venimos con esa idea, primero por el pase y luego campeonar. Estamos a un pasito, es el último jalón.
Hacemos esto porque amamos el fútbol de playa. Y aquí estamos celebrando para ir al Mundial de Portugal, y cuando vimos que clasificamos le dimos gracias a Dios.
El fútbol playa es pura fiesta, señores.
Es una felicidad indescriptible, es un sueño volver a estar en un mundial y lo vamos a enfrentar con todo. Es una felicidad inmensa que no tengo palabras para describirla.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. CONCACAF General Secretary Mr. Philippe Mogio, Bahamian Football Association President Mr. Anton Seeley, Ted Howard, CONCACAF Chief of Football Operations Mr. Jürgen Meinke, CONCACAF Chief of Commercialization, Mr. Ricardo Garcia, representing Beach Soccer Worldwide, Mr. Horace Reed, CONCACAF Director of Caribbean Football, team delegations, members of the media, local, national, and international, fans of the game across the region and around the world who join us via CONCACAF.com and the CONCACAF Facebook page. It's my privilege to welcome all to beautiful Miami, Florida for this, the official draw of the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship Bahamas 2017. My name is Brent Latham, host of today's program. In February of next year, beach soccer teams from around the Confederation will gather on the beaches of Nassau, the capital of the Bahamas, to challenge for one of CONCACAF's two places in the 2017 FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, to be played notably also in the Bahamas. The championship will be disputed over 7 days in February from the 20th to the 26th. And today, with the help of some special invited guests, we will sort the 16 member associations competing for the championship into groups and fixtures. With the goal of offering the official welcome to this important event, please join me in welcoming CONCACAF General Secretary, Mr. Philippe Mogio.
Thank you, Brent, and good morning, everyone. It is a great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of you here today. I am delighted to be here, and thank you all for joining us from your different countries through our Facebook Live page on CONCACAF.com. It's great again to be here with you. Having established protocol, I would like to thank President Anton Seeley from the Bahamas Football Association for being here with us. As the Bahamas prepares to be the first Caribbean country to host the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, we're also delighted to be able to organize our CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship in this nation. Anton, you and your team are doing a tremendous job preparing for the World Cup. Thank you for hosting our President, Victor Montagliani, when you hosted him in the Bahamas a couple weeks ago for the official launch of the preparations for the World Cup. We hope that the recovery process from the recent effects of Hurricane Matthew are going well, and we stand by you. Your country has already proven to be a great capacity to host major events as it did so our championship in 2013. That was a fantastic tournament, and we can't wait to see these next two great championships take place again. Beach soccer has experienced some tremendous growth since the first FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup was held 11 years ago. According to Beach Soccer Worldwide, the sport is now played in over 100 countries across the 6 confederations of FIFA, and its future is very bright, as demonstrated by federations like the Bahamas Football Association, adding the discipline to their national team programs. Next year's tournament will certainly increase the competitiveness and provide a great opportunity to further develop the game while stimulating tourism and adding economic benefits to the host nation of the Bahamas. We're here today for the draw of our championship, and it's quite special as this tournament will not only crown the CONCACAF champion, but it will also determine which 2 teams from our confederation join the Bahamas as the host to compete in the FIFA World Cup. Our CONCACAF championship has been contested in 6 previous occasions. Mexico has won a record 3 times. The United States has lifted the trophy twice, and El Salvador has won once. To support the promotion of the game, we have conducted in our region many courses since 2014 aimed at improving coaching and refereeing in this unique category. And as we continue to leverage the platform to strengthen the game within our region, I am sure that all the participating teams are anxiously awaiting the results of today's draw. So to you all participating teams, I look forward to seeing you play at your best in February. Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Thank you, General Secretary Moshio. Now, for some words of welcome on behalf of the host nation, let's please welcome Bahamas Football Association President, Mr. Anton Sealy.
Thank you, Brent. And having so eloquently established protocol, I'd just like to say good morning to you all. It is indeed a pleasure to be here with all of you in Miami today. We in the BFA, and indeed the Bahamas, are very excited to host the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship and the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup in 2017, as these competitions will have a major impact on our country and the Caribbean. This will be the first time that 3 teams from CONCACAF, including the Bahamas, will participate in the World Cup. We're very excited about the opportunities these tournaments will present to our country, both from a social and an economic standpoint, as well as growing the game. In addition, as General Secretary Moshio indicated, it will also present a welcome respite from the recovery efforts from Hurricane Matthew. Many of you will know that recently our islands were impacted tremendously with the passage of Hurricane Andrew, and it's had a devastating impact on the infrastructure of our country. And however, we're resilient people, and we've set about our reconstruction efforts. And by the time you arrive in January 2017, we hope that there will be no evidence that Matthew visited us. Since 2013, CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship, we have been concentrating our efforts in building a foundation for the sport by investing in beach soccer programs and infrastructure. It is evident how bright the future is for our nation and for the Confederation. We have the potential to excel in this form of football, and I encourage all participating teams to keep building on this momentum for beach soccer within our region and continue to impress upon the administration of your MAs the importance of this modality of football to the development not only of the beach game, but also how it impacts the grass game as well. It is actually a complement to the grass game, not in competition to the grass game. And this is something, as a president, I know we presidents, we feel that our success is defined by our national teams on the grass, but we need to understand that this is just an important part of football and football development, and it enhances the development of the grass game. So I impress upon you to impress upon your presidents, your general secretaries, your administrations in general, that beach soccer is a viable form of football, and it facilitates the development of the grass game, and it should be looked at with equal importance and enthusiasm as we do, as we chase the grass game. I don't know if many of you saw President Montagliani's presentation he gave a few weeks back, when he indicated that with 2 years left to go to the World Cup, I think it's something like 80% of our countries have been eliminated. That speaks to where we are and where we need to go. And it speaks to also investing where you can get the biggest bang for your buck. I think, as we say back home, that the sand is a great equalizer. And those countries such as ourselves, very small, when we come to competing against the likes of the US, Mexico, and Canada, Trinidad, Jamaica on the grass, it's a bit of a challenge. But on the sand equalizes all of that. So I would impress upon you your MAs that, you know, it's time they take this modality a lot more serious than we have been. Hosting a FIFA World Cup is both an honor and a privilege, but it is an extraordinary opportunity to develop talent and encourage greater participation among our youth. Furthermore, these major events provide a platform to continue building a stronger and more passionate fan base. We're eager to welcome fans and visitors from around the world so that they can experience the hospitality of the Bahamas. I look forward to seeing you all in February and again in April as we welcome the world to the pristine shores of Nassau in the Bahamas. Good luck to all the participating teams. Good luck to you all. I trust that this week will be a fantastic week of deliberations, and I thank you, and I wish to see you in Bahamas in January 2017. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Seeley, for those encouraging words on beach soccer. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth has arrived for the 16 member associations set to learn their qualifying fate for the Beach Soccer Championship. To do so, let's begin by helping me to welcome to the stage two heroes of Bahamian football, both the full version and the beach soccer game, which we're celebrating here today. Let's start with Mr. Gavin Christie. Gavin? Gavin was the captain of the Bahamas national soccer team for an amazing 15-year period from 1999 to 2014. His passion for soccer now moves to the sands of the beach game, where he is the captain of the Bahamian national team 5 years running. Welcome, Gavin.
Thank you.
Gavin, with your experience in beach soccer and now the Bahamian team moving up the rankings, there must be a lot of excitement and anticipation for this tournament in the Bahamas.
Yeah, there's tons of excitement. It's great that we're hosting the tournament once again. It's the second time around, and so we're very excited and looking forward to a great tournament.
Thank you, Gavin. Welcome. Let's also now please welcome Mr. Leslie St. Fleur. Leslie has represented the Bahamas at all youth levels and played in the men's national team at the age of 17. He's currently playing in the Jamaican Premier League for Montego Bay United FC. Welcome, Leslie.
Thank you.
Leslie, as President Seeley alluded to, there's a connection in the Bahamas between the beach game and the full version of the game. What are your thoughts about transitioning now to the beach game for this tournament?
What the president had said is true. Playing on the grass is very difficult for us to qualify in games against, like you said, the U.S. and other teams. But on beach soccer, it's very easy for us because you have the opportunity to qualify and win the World Cup and do our best.
Thank you, Leslie, and welcome. Encouraging words for the Bahamas headed into this beach soccer draw. At this time, to conduct the official draw for the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship, Bahamas 2017. Please join me in welcoming back to the stage Mr. Philippe Mogio, General Secretary of CONCACAF. Good luck, everyone.
Thanks, Brent. I know you're all anxiously awaiting to make this draw, but I'd like to provide you some details about the championship and also some of the draw criteria, how this will be drawn. First, let's turn to our venue. President Sealy talked a little bit about the potential to host a FIFA World Cup. This is going to be a fantastic venue in Malcolm Park in beautiful Nassau. It's going to be home, obviously, to our championship and the FIFA World Cup in 2017. It will have a capacity of over 3,000 people. Its estimated completion date is in early January of 2017. And very importantly, this stadium will remain in Nassau as a great development building for not only the Bahamas, but certainly for the region as a whole. So excellent to have this great venue in our region. Let's now turn to the schedule. As Brent mentioned earlier, the tournament will be held from Monday the 20th of February through Sunday, February 26th. It's going to be 7 days of action-packed games, and every team will have an opportunity to play 6 games throughout that duration of that week. The first phase is the first 4 days. Each of the teams in each of the draws will play 3 games. The qualifying teams will move on to play quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals on days 5, 6, and 7. And the remaining teams that did not qualify will still have the opportunity to continue playing. And we want to do this in order for these teams to continue to develop and have the most from this great platform. Let's talk about the teams that will be participating in this championship. As you know, CONCACAF represents 41 members associations, and 16 of them are competing in our championship. First, let's start with the teams from the Caribbean. From the Caribbean, we have Antigua and Barbuda. We have the Bahamas, Guadeloupe, Guyana, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, Trinidad and Tobago, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. From Central America, we have Belize, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Salvador, and Panama. And lastly, from the North Zone are 3 members associations, Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Let's now talk a little bit about the draw setup. We have 4 pots, and we will be drawing the teams from these 4 pots. And we have placed teams into the pots based on the following criteria. The first 11 teams are as follows. In pot 1, we have the Bahamas as the host nation. That is the red ball you see in pot 1. We have the defending champion, Mexico, is the yellow ball in pot 1. And then the following 8 teams are based on the Beach Soccer Worldwide rankings in order. So you have in pot 1, El Salvador and United States, along with Bahamas and Mexico. In pot 2, we have Costa Rica, Guatemala, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica. In pot 3, the remaining 2 ranked teams, Canada and Panama. And Guyana, since they're not ranked because they've not yet competed in a FIFA tournament, they will be automatically going into pot 4. We have a 5th pot, and that 5th pot is comprised of the 5 remaining teams that have the same amount of points in the Beach Soccer Worldwide rankings. So what we will do is we'll select those 5 teams and populate them within pots 3 and 4 in the following manner. So Gavin, if you can help me, what we will do is we're going to select 1 ball and we're going to put it into pot 3. We're going to select a 2nd ball, again put it into pot 3, and then we'll select the other 3 balls, we'll put them into pot 4, okay? So let's get started, okay. Please select 1 ball from pot 5. Thank you, Gavin. So we have Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda will go back into the ball and will go into pot 3. Please put it into pot 3. Thank you. And select one more ball from pot 5. Thank you, Gavin. We have Belize. Belize will be the last team into pot 3, joining Canada, Panama, and Antigua and Barbuda. Gavin, if you can please put it into pot 3. Thank you. So the last 3 remaining teams, Guadeloupe, Turks and Caicos, and U.S. Virgin Islands, go into pot 4 along with Guyana. Okay, so we have our 4 pots established. Now we can really move on to the draw. I know you guys are excited. You ready?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, let's get going. The way this is going to work is we're going to first come out of pot 1. We're going to take the Bahamas, which will come out into Group A as in the A1 position. Then we will continue with pot 1, taking Mexico, which will fill position B1 in Group B. Then the 2 remaining teams of Salvador and USA will go into C1 and D1. Then we'll move on to pot 2, which will fill positions in position 2 in groups A, B, C, and D. We will then move on to the 3rd pot, which will fill the 3rd position in groups A, B, C, and D. And lastly, we'll do pot 4, which will fill position 4 in group A, B, C, and D. Okay, let's get started. Leslie, if you can please draw the red ball from pot 1. Thank you very much. So Bahamas is the host of the CONCACAF Championship and obviously the FIFA World Cup as well. Bahamas goes into position 1 in Group A. Leslie, if you can please draw the yellow ball, that will be Mexico. This is Mexico. This will be Mexico's 7th appearance in our championship, and they are the defending champion. Mexico goes into position 1 in Group B. Leslie, if you can select one of the 2 remaining balls from pot 1. United States. United States is the champion from 2006 and 2013. They now occupy position 1 in Group C. Leslie, if you can please take the last ball from pot 1. This will be El Salvador. El Salvador is the 2009 champions and have placed 4th in the FIFA World Cup. So El Salvador takes position 1 in Group B. We finished pot 1. Let's move on to our 2nd pot. Leslie, if you can please select one ball from pot 2. Thank you, Leslie. Jamaica. This is Jamaica's 5th appearance and reached the quarterfinals in 2015. Jamaica now filled position 2 in Group A along with the Bahamas. Leslie, if you can select a second ball from pot 2, please. Thank you. Guatemala. This is Guatemala's 4th participation, and they reached the quarterfinals in 2015. They now go into position 2 under Group B, along with Mexico. Leslie, let's please continue with the 3rd ball from pot 2. Thank you, Leslie. Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, in its first appearance, reached the quarterfinals in 2015. This will be their 2nd participation or championship. They will be going in the 2nd position under Group C with the United States. Let's select the last ball from pot 3, which will be Costa Rica. Costa Rica was the runner-up in 2009 and 2015 in our championship. Costa Rica now occupies position 2 in our Group D, along with El Salvador. We have completed the first 2 pots. We now move on to pot 3. Gavin is going to help us draw the teams from there. Gavin, if you could please pull 1 ball from pot 3. Thank you very much. Belize. Belize has competed once in our championship. They defeated Puerto Rico in their first time, and they will be competing for the 2nd time in our championship. They now join the Bahamas and Jamaica in Group A. Gavin, if you can please select 1 more ball from pot 3. Thank you. Canada. Canada is the runner-up from 2006, which led them to compete in the FIFA World Cup in 2007. They now join Mexico and Guatemala in Group B in the 3rd position. Gavin, if you can pick the 2nd to last ball out of pot 3. Thank you. Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda competed in 2015 and defeated Barbados in their first match. They now occupy position 3 in Group C with the United States and Trinidad and Tobago. Gavin, if you can select the last ball, which will be Panama from pot 3. Panama's first appearance was in 2015. This will be their 2nd time competing in our championship. Panama now takes position 3 in Group D, along with El Salvador and Costa Rica. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, to pot 4, our last 4 teams to be drawn. Gavin, if you can please select 1 ball from pot 4. Thank you very much. Guyana. This is Guyana's first official participation in our tournament. They now occupy position 4 in Group A, along with Bahamas, Jamaica, Belize, and Belize. We have completed our Group A. Gavin, if you can please select a 2nd ball from pot 4. Thank you. Guadeloupe. This is Guadeloupe's 2nd appearance. They debuted in 2015 in our last tournament. They complete Group B. taking position 4, along with Mexico, Guatemala, and Canada. Gavin, let's take that second to last ball from pot 4, please. Thank you. U.S. Virgin Islands. This is the U.S. Virgin Islands' second participation in our championship, looking for the first win ever. They now take position 4 in Group C, joining the United States, Trinidad and Tobago, and Antigua and Barbuda. Let's select our last team from pot 4, which will be Turks and Caicos. Also looking for the first win in our championship. They will fill our groups, taking position 4, along with El Salvador, Costa Rica, and Panama. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have populated our groups with the 16 teams that will compete in our championship. It's very exciting. So before we move on to the last slide, I wanted to ask Leslie, now that you see the teams that are joining you in Group A, you're playing against Jamaica, Belize, and Guyana. How do you feel about competing against those teams?
I'm very excited. You know, the Bahamas-Jamaica game has always been a rivalry. Bahamas with Jamaica, always a rivalry game. And we have our 2 new teams we haven't played before, and it's going to be a challenge. But I'm very happy for the draw. And
excellent. Well, good luck. And good luck to the other teams as well. Gavin, if I can ask you as well, you mentioned earlier what a pride it was for Bahamas to be able to host not only our tournament, but certainly the FIFA World Cup as well. But tell me, for you personally, now that you see the entire 16-team roster being filled out, how does it feel for you to be able to compete in these 2 tournaments?
For me personally, it's amazing, you know, for me and the team to not just to play, but to host this tournament once again. So we're excited. It's going to be an excellent tournament, and the Bahamas will be ready.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck to you. Gavin and Leslie, thank you for joining us. This is great. Before we move on, I want to show you the schedule, which has been automatically populated now with all the teams. The specific times have not yet been determined, but this schedule will be printed out and handed to you. People at home can certainly log on to CONCACAF.com to see this schedule as it stands, and it's been finalized. So thank you all for joining us. It's been a great pleasure, and good luck to all the participating teams.